In this video, I'll show you the fastest and simplest way to format your book for Amazon KDP using Google Docs for free. Now, if you were to outsource your formatting to someone else, then it could cost, $30, $50, sometimes even $100 or more. But don't worry, because in this video, I'll show you how you can do it yourself. If you are new to the channel, my name is Sean. I built 2 successful Amazon KDP businesses, and now I try to help others to do the same through my videos. So if you look up Sean Dowitt formatting on YouTube, I got 2 videos on how to format your book using Microsoft Word and Reezy. But I noticed that sometimes people don't have Microsoft Word on their computer, and sometimes people don't want to use Reezy. So in this video, I'll show you how you can do it with Google Docs. So step number 1 is to adjust the paper size and margins. As you can see, here's an example ebook about financial literacy for young adults. This is the title page, and here's where the copyright information, followed by the table of contents, your free gift, and the introduction. And then we have the body of the book and the conclusion part at the end. So first, we need to decide what paper size we want to use. So I found this book on Amazon with a similar topic. It's a guide for teenagers on investing in the stock market. As you can see, the dimensions are 5.5 by 8.5 inches. So since they have a similar book, we can use that as well. So the most common size for nonfiction books are 5.5 by 8.5 like this one, or 6 by 9 inches. So to change the paper size, go to the top left corner and click on File. Then scroll all the way down and select Page Setup. These are the settings, and make sure to apply them to the whole document. Set the orientation to portrait and change the paper size to 5.5 by 8.5 inches. You can select it here under paper size. Just look for 5.5 by 8.5 inches. Keep in mind that some sizes aren't available in Google Docs, but 8.5 by 11 and also 5.5 by 8.5, which are the common trim size that people often use, are available. For the margins, you can adjust them based on your preference. It's commonly set to 1 inch by default, so you can click OK, and as you can see, the file size has been updated. So that brings us to step 2, which is to adjust overall format. So we want to adjust the overall format, including the font, text alignment, line spacing, page breaks, and headings. So let's start by changing the font and the font size. If you click any word here, you'll see that the default font is Arial 11. What we need to do is find a clean and simple font, because that's usually the best. But honestly, any font you prefer is fine. This is completely up to you. So in this case, we can go with Times New Roman with font size 12. To change the font for everything easily, just press Ctrl+A, and as you can see, everything gets selected. For Mac users, just press Command+A and it does the same thing. Now, let's change the font to Times New Roman and set the size to 12. Next, let's adjust the text alignment to justify. So press Ctrl+A to select everything once again, then click this button right here. Click on Justify, or you can also press Ctrl+Shift+J. As you can see, the title page was also affected, but you can easily change it back to center alignment. Just click this button here or press Ctrl+Shift+E. Now, let's adjust the line spacing. Again, press Ctrl+A to select everything, then click this button here, line and paragraph spacing, and change it to either 1.25 or 1.5. In this case, let's go with 1.5. Next is to add headings and page breaks. Before we do that though, make sure the non-printing characters are visible. So just go to View on the top left corner and click on Show Non-Printing Characters. You can also press Ctrl+Shift+P. So just like that, and you'll see the line spaces, which you can remove later on. Next, let's organize the book by adding page breaks. Start with the title page, and we can put the copyright page on the second page by adding a page break here. Click on the left part of the copyright line and press Ctrl+Enter. As you can see, there's now a page break. Page break is what you use to tell the software that the page ends there. So any content that comes after the page break will be on the next page. So that's how you want to organize the pages. You don't want to just click enter a bunch of time to add line spacing to get your text on page 2 or the page 3. That's not what you want to do. Instead, what you want to do is to add page breaks like this. Next, let's remove this extra line spacing, which appeared because of the non-printing characters. And now let's organize the title page. For the main title, make it bold and as big as possible. That's at least my recommendation. So let's try 36, and yeah, it actually looks good. For the subtitle and the author name, the font size looks fine to me, but we can add spacing to center everything. It's a bit more centered now. And for this one, we can add a bit more spacing so the author name is slightly lower. And it's looking good. So now let's move to the copyright section. If you see this 2-line spacing, that's actually from the header. Okay, so you can leave it there. We should also add a page break for the table of contents. So press Ctrl plus Enter. Then come back here and remove all extra line spaces. For the copyright section, let's bold it or press Ctrl plus B. Increase the font size to around 18, align it to center. This text here, we can increase it to around 14 as well. Let's also move the text closer to the center of the page by adding line spacing here and there. So that looks good. We'll skip the table of contents for now because we need headings for the introduction, body, and conclusion first before we can automatically generate one. So let's focus on the introduction. Make sure to add a page break instead of just line spaces, as I said earlier, because that could mess up the format and cause errors later on. So remove the extra spacing and a page break in the introduction. So just like that, click on the introduction text, make sure it's selected, then go to the styles section. Click normal text and change it to heading 1. Bold it and align it to center. Keep in mind, it might change back to the default font once you apply the heading style. So just change the font back to, Times New Roman in this case, or whatever you prefer. Now that we've added the heading, let's move to the paragraph text. In nonfiction books, we usually add spacing between paragraphs. For fiction books, we use indentation instead, just like this. So since this is a nonfiction book, we can just use spacing between the paragraphs. So first, undo the indent and instead add line spacing, just like that. And let's continue formatting here as well. So just like this, now that we're done with the introduction, all we need to do is repeat the same process for the remaining chapters. Add the heading and add line spacing after each paragraph. Let's try it one more time. So we found another section here, so just press Ctrl plus Enter to insert a page break, select the chapter title, and make it heading 1. Bold it, align center, and let's not forget to change the font back to Times New Roman, then add line spacing after each paragraph. You might also come across a subtopic or a subchapter. So first, add a line spacing here, then change the subchapter to heading 2 if you want to. You don't have to do this, but if you want to further organize it and make it look a little nicer, then you can do it. You can bold it, and it's up to you whether you want to align it center or not. I usually leave subchapters aligned left or justified. And of course, change the font to Times New Roman and add line spacing after it, just like this. Another one here, we can make it heading 2, bold it, and switch the font to Times New Roman, add spacing again, and here's another one. Make it heading 2, bold it, and add spacing as well. We also have another main chapter here, so let's add a page break. And this will be heading 1 because it's the main chapter. So bold it, center it, and make sure the font is Times New Roman. Then add the line spacing again. And I'll go ahead and skip some parts here because I want to show you how to organize chapter 1. So now that we are in chapter 1, click on it and change it to heading 1. Bold it, center, and switch the font to Times New Roman. You can also remove the chapter 1 label if you want. Some people prefer not to do the whole chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter names. So you can remove that or keep it. That's up to you. If you want to keep it, press Shift plus Enter to move it to the next line. Again, this is completely up to you, but I think it looks a little nicer. Then make it a bit smaller, around size 18. So something like that. And make sure it's consistent for all chapters. This looks good. So I'll just remove the period here. And now we have a subchapter. Add a page break and make it heading 2. You can also delete the word chapter if you want, bold it, and switch the font to Times New Roman. Same with this one, heading 2, Times New Roman, bold it, and can remove the chapter word. We also have this one, chapter 1.3, make it heading 2, remove the chapter word. Bold it and set it to Times New Roman. Now let's add a page break for chapter 2, and that is pretty much it. As you can see, it's now very organized compared to before, and you can also see the headings on the left sidebar here. Just click this, sometimes it's hidden, but once you have headings set up, click that and it'll pop up. Once the entire book's formatting is done, all the chapters will show up here. And if you click on one, it'll take you directly to that section, which shows you that it's properly set up. But basically you repeat this process until the end of the book. So since it's kind of repetitive, I'm not going to show you on this video, but you can go ahead and do that. All right, so once you're done with that, step 3 is to add table of contents. So just to summarize what we did here, we formatted all the chapters inside the book, and as you can see, it's looking pretty good. We also have the final words and the conclusion section right here, and we can format these too. We can add a page break to separate them, and for the Your Free Gift section, this is where you can add, your lead magnet and stuff like that. It's an optional page, but I tend to add it. So for this section, we can bold it, make it bigger, around size 18, and center align it. and you can insert any free gift you want here. Now, for the table of contents, let's do the same. So click bold, align center, and make it around size 18 as well. Now, all we need to do is click on this first paragraph. Just go to insert at the top left corner, then scroll to the bottom under page elements and click on table of contents. You can play around with these three options. So this one is plain text, this one has dotted lines, and this one uses links. So since this is an ebook and not a physical book, we can use the one with hyperlinks just like this. But if it's a physical book, then you cannot do that. Okay, so just keep that in mind. You can also remove these subchapters if you want, since the main chapters are the most important, especially for table of contents. You don't really have to show the subchapters if you don't want to, but that really depends based on your preference. We can actually try to remove it here. So now we're done removing the subchapters. As you can see, chapter 1 and the main titles are aligned properly, like we did earlier. You can just backspace and add a little space like that, and do the same for all the chapters, just like this. And as you can see, this is also in the Arial font. So you can change the font to Times New Roman for the consistency and adjust the size to 12 or even bigger if you want to. You can also add line spacing between the introduction, the main chapters, and the conclusion, like that. Once you click introduction here, it'll redirect you to the introduction section. So let's scroll back up, and just like that, everything is set. The next step is to remove the non-printing characters. So go to view at the top left corner again and uncheck the show non-printing characters. And once you scroll down, you'll see everything is properly formatted and looks super clean. All right, this takes us to the final step, which is step 4. We want to save it in a KDP approved file format. So we can actually check out this page here. If you guys want to check it out, I'll drop the link in the description. But to download the file, just go to File, then click on Download. And as you can see, both options are here. We got the docx option and the EPUB option. I prefer docx, so let's save it as docx. And just like that, here's the downloaded file. So the formatting looks good. It matches what we edited in Google Docs, and everything looks good, but obviously you should double check everything to make sure. The table of contents looks good as well, and also the introduction looks great too. So basically everything is the way we formatted, but once again, it is best to double check in case you missed something. All right, so that is how you format yourself using Google Doc. But for whatever reason, if you don't want to deal with doing this, if this is way too much, work for you and you rather just outsource it, then there are some good book formatters available on Fiverr. So these are some options that I personally used many times in the past. The first one over here, he will format your book, for as low as $50. If you have a fiction book and you want a fiction formatting specialist, then we have this gig, Brady, over here. We'll do it for $80. And if you want more than just basic formatting and you want something super premium and have your book look absolutely amazing, then we have this gig right here, HMD Publishing. So it's definitely a little more expensive, as you can see here, but it's more than, again, just basic formatting. You have little designs and, different elements that are added that definitely adds to the book and makes it look really good. So if you want to try any of these 3 options, I'll leave a link in the description. And if you're serious about taking your Amazon KDP business to the next level, then I do offer a complete Amazon KDP mentorship program. If you want to check it out, it's the first link in the description. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.